So today we are going to assemble this patio swing. I am going to show you complete detailed instruction and you can just follow along with the video. Okay, so this is all of the cushions and everything. Once it's open, I am going to move all of these cushions aside because we are going to place them at the end. So let's remove it and keep this on the side. Sorry. Okay, so what you are seeing here is that all the parts I have placed them here. I put all the cushions and covers and everything inside or on the side because I don't need right now. But overall, these are all the parts. They are all labeled. Notice H, E, H, F, 2 Gs. Everything is labeled M and so on, right? So you are going to use that. Also, this is the actual manual along with all the parts that we are going to use. You don't really need the manual if you follow the video. Just follow along with it. Okay. Okay. So this is the first part. You can see it says A here, right? And then you have this one which says W. It's like circular one, right? Now on one side of the A, you will see there are 3 holes. Here, 1, 2 and 3. And on the other side at the bottom, almost at the curve, there are 2 holes. So this is the bottom part. And this is essentially where you want to connect this. So what that means is, you are going to place this inside here like this. You are going to fit it in. So these are going to be the legs. So you are going to do that for both the A's. So there are 2 A's and 2 B's. And you are going to do this for both the A's, right? So let me connect this thing and show it to you. Okay, so I have connected it, but essentially you might need to, once you put it in a little bit, you might need to bang it a little bit so that it goes in completely. But essentially what you are seeing here is this, right? 2 holes, and that is where the legs are on the A. You are going to do it for both the A's. Okay, so we can see I have connected both the A's. Now it's time for the 2 B's, right? So A's are connected and these are the 2 B's. Now on one side of the B's, they are slightly smaller. So it's like the diameter is slightly less. So this is the top part and the other side is the bottom part. And you want to do the same thing. That is, you want to essentially put these feet on the bottom part. So not on the narrow part, right? This is the narrow part, which is the top part. On this part here, you want to essentially connect these legs here like this. And you will have to apply pressure to make sure that the leg fits in. You might want to have to, once you connect it a little bit, you might also want to hit it on the ground because these are essentially legs. Okay, so next you can see both the B's are ready now. So these are the 2 bigger ones A and these are 2 slightly smaller ones B. Both the legs are set up. Next we are going to pair one A with one B, and essentially A and B will form a pair, right? So we are going to make 2 pairs like that. So let me show that to you. You can see how I have placed the A and B together, right next to each other. The bigger one is A and smaller one is B. And what you want is to make sure that the bottom holes of both of them match. So you can see the hole here at the bottom for B matches the hole here at the A. Essentially what ended up happening is A looks slightly bigger, but this is essentially expected. Same we are going to do with the other pair as well, where we are going to connect A and B. And once again I want you to see, right, the bottom hole of A out of the 3 and the bottom hole of the 2 holes of B, they line up right next to one another, right, where you are going to put a screw in there. So you want this to be lined up. So now that you have lined up, you are going to use this screw R and M6 to connect those 2. So you want to essentially remove one screw for one A to connect A and B and another screw to connect A and B. We are only going to connect one screw. We are going to connect other screws later. We are going to start with just one screw for now. Okay, so you can see I have connected A and B here, and this is the screws. I have removed one screw. You are going to put it from the smaller one, that is B. So you are going to put it through the hole here. And see, because I am using the phone and also using the video, it might be a little bit difficult, but essentially want it to come out the other side. Yep, notice how it come out. And then you are going to put it inside the A. So you can see how it has come out. Next you are going to put it inside the A. here like this. And notice how it has come out, right? So we have essentially connected A and B with one screw. Next you want this smaller one here and you want to essentially put it inside. Okay, so what you want to do is, you don't want to put this black one yet. It is removable. You want to keep it loose a little bit because we are going to connect C to this soon. So until we do that, we want this to be loose. This is just something that we do to make our life a little bit easier. So essentially A and B connected with the screw, kept it loose. Now we are going to put the C. Okay, so this is C. You can see it is written C over here. We are going to take this C and we are going to place it here like this. So what that means is it is vertical, right? So we have put the C vertically, right? And we are going to put this in completely inside the B. So we are going to push it inside the B. So C is getting connected next. So this is the C here. Okay, so once you have connected, you will notice that you will have to align this holes here slightly by moving it. Notice how when I am moving, the holes align. So you do want to align it. But once you have done, you are going to put the R screws inside, remove it from other side, and then the same thing, put it inside from and remove it from put it from B and remove it from A. That we are going to do next. Okay, so notice what I have done here. I have taken the R screw, put it from this side and remove it all the way from the A. So essentially A, B, C are connected. And same we are going to do this one with this other screw, right? So this is going to connect C to A. Once again you need to align it a little bit. Not difficult, it's actually very easy. Because I'm doing it one hand and I'm holding the camera on the other, so it looks a little bit difficult. But actually it is quite simple. You just need to put the screw and just align it a little bit and just organize it essentially. Right, and then you are going to put this black screw on the top, right, more like a protector. So connect these two. They have provided this thing for us to tighten it. So notice this Y and Z, this will help us tighten the screw. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so once you tighten the screw, you need to just place this thing, these covers on the top here. If you notice the way I'm putting it, put the cover on all the three of them. These are just covers. They are like more cosmetic and not actually needed for this operationally. So even if it don't stick, it's okay. But essentially put the covers on this thing. Okay, so notice I have connected everything. I have put all of those gray ones as well, and I am placing it like this. So see, this is the bigger one, right? So this one is the A, on the other side is the B. Next you want to make mirror image this thing. So what that means is you want A to be next to A and B to be next to B. So what that means is, now I'm going to lift this and I'm going to put it here like this. So what that means is, notice this is A. So this one is A essentially, and this one is A as well. Notice that two holes and two holes on this side. Notice they both match. And this one is the B one and this one is the B one. So once again the B matches as well. So you essentially want them to be mirror image of each other, right? So that both the legs are facing right opposite each other. And now we are going to pick up this item number D, right? And we are going to put this D here like this inside. So notice the way I am putting the D here, right? So that both of them are essentially matching one another exactly. So just put the D inside. The same way, very similar to it's like mirror image of what we did for the C. But you want both of them to match. So now that the mirror images are facing, we are going to go to the B side and we are going to put the R screws from the center here and remove it from the other side. same as what we did previously, right? And remove it from the other side and connect it. I'm doing it with one hand, so that's why I need to move it, but I'm just connecting this here and this one here as well. Yep. And now all the three are, nuts are present in the lock, so I can tighten them. It doesn't have to be too tight, just tight enough, not, you don't need to completely tighten it or something. You don't apply too much force. So yeah. Okay, so when I put the screws in, next I'm just going to place these nuts or like the covers on the top. So the covers are placed in. Now it's time to make both of them stand up. Okay, so now I'm going to make both of them stand up. So this one is essentially standing up like this, and then this one is standing up like this. Because both of them were essentially mirror images, they were essentially standing up right next to one another, right? And now essentially they fit into one another. So yeah, I just need to connect it. Okay, so what we essentially did was we essentially made it, connected. We just connected. I have not put the screws in here, but we essentially connected C to the D. And notice they are mirror images. So here, this side we are seeing the A and A here, and on the other side it is B and the B, right? So everything is matching, everything is connected and aligned properly, and it is standing up without any issues. Next, we are going to put the screws in here, in these two holes, to connect C and D permanently. Next, notice this screw T as in tiger. We are going to remove two of them and we are going to put it inside those two holes. Okay, so this side is the B here. This is the B. Notice where we put that two screws. Same from this side. We are going to put these screws, which are T, which I showed you. So T as in tiger, you are going to put this and remove it from the other side. Probably I am going to connect this nut from this other side here, right? And I am going to tighten it. And we can tighten this now because there is nothing else to connect, but this can essentially be tightened. So yeah, you are ready to tighten both of these screws. We are going to connect these covers on this thing here. Once again, this is cosmetic and not needed to operate it, but it looks nice having this thing here. Next, this is edge as in horse. Now you notice this tray here is on the outside and this part is on the inside. So this part is on the inside. And you want it like this. What you essentially want to do is you want to place it like this. And what you need is screw called V. V as in violet. Okay? And what we are going to do is we are going to hold this here like this. We are going to hold this like this and we are going to kind of put the 4 V screws. So one. Then I'm going to put the other one on the other side. Yep, notice how? So 2 screws. Keep it loose initially, right? So that you can put all the 4 screws in first. 3, you might have to move it a little bit up to align the screws. And then 4. For this one you might have to lift it, move it, do some stuff for the 4th screw. Just try to align it as much as possible. Yes, you can see by pressing this I aligned it. And now we are going to tighten the 4 screws. Notice this thing will come outside, not inside. So you want to make sure that this is inside and this one is outside. Yes, okay. So now I'm going to tighten all the 4 screws. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, which I've already done. And once it is, with the one, okay, and this is how it will essentially look, once it is tightened. We are going to, which is exactly the same as what we did over there. Yeah. Okay, so this is J and J1. You can see J1 written here and this one is J. And notice on one side it has this gap here on this kind of holding and other side it is connected. So what you want to do is you want to match. What it means is the hole, you see this gap here in J1, it should match with the gap here on the J, right? And then you want to connect them. So you can see the holes are aligned and this gap here is matching this gap. So this is important, right? And now once you have this, you are going to connect this to A as in apple. Priti, can you please take this on the side? Papa has to connect it. Go side. Essentially, you are going to connect it over here like this and like this. So what it means is this will be connected like this. Now right now they are a little farther away, which is nice for us to connect. But once we connect the screw, they will become closer. So this is like, you know, bringing them in the right amount of close to one another. Not too much and not too less. So we are going to connect this here in these holes here. Okay, so you are going to use screw T as in tiger. You are going to put this from here like this, and you are going to put it inside here and then remove it from the other side. Very similar to what we did for the A and B ones, right? You want to essentially remove it from the other side. So yep, and you can see how this thing came in. Same, I am going to put the other screw as well, which are provided along with them right next to it to connect it. So notice the way I am doing it. And once you put the screws in, then you are good. And now you just need to tighten the screws using the wrench and the Allen key. Okay, next we are going to put this screw U as in umbrella, through this hole, and you are going to connect it via the nut on the other side. Okay, you need to do some stuff to align it. You can do it from the other side. Yeah, so you can see it is possible. I just need to do it very carefully. Okay, yeah, and now I am going to connect this. You can also do it from the other side if you want, whichever way you prefer. Okay, so this is F as in Ford, right? I am putting F here. Next, right next to it, I want this K1. I want to place this K1 below the F, and this is K. I want this to be placed on this side. So K1 is right next to the knob. Now what I want to do is, from inside I want to put this screw Q as in queen, right? I am right next to the knob, so I am going to put the K1 here, and then I am going to put the nut. So essentially I have connected F and K1 with each other using the screw Q, which is queen, and the rod next to this knob is K1, and on the other side the rod is K as in king. So this one is E as in eagle. I am putting this knob on the bottom. Now right next to the knob, what I want is the K1 rod. So this knob, so I am going to put the K1 here below it, and on the other side I am going to put K as in king. These are the screws Q as in queen. I am going to put this Q from inside here. On the other side, pass it through the K1 and then use the nut to connect it. Okay, and now same on the other side for K1. I am going to put this here and put the nut. I am going to show it how it looks on the other side as well. So let me turn it around and show you. Okay, next now see from this side, right? Right next to the nut E, you have K1, and on the other side you have Q. Now you just need to tighten it. Okay, so once again, what we connected previously, right? This is E, this is K1, and this is K. Now on the inside you have this V1 screw. So you have V1 and you have this kind of thing, and you also have a nut. What you want to do is, you want to put this thing inside here, and from the inside, note the knob is on the outside. From the inside, put this thing here and remove it from the back, and then you want to connect the nut. Yep. So essentially, we are connecting this thing to this E via the V1 nut screw and the nut. Okay, now this is F. F as in forest. Right? Note the knob is here on the outside. Same thing. I'm going to connect this X here, X as in X-ray, via this screw V1 here from inside because the knob is on the outside. And then use the nut to essentially connect it from the outside. Very simple actually. So these two things are kind of like supports which will be go inside once we connect the whole thing. Okay, now we are seeing I removed this part out and opened it. Now on one pipe you have one hole, and on the one pipe you have two holes. So the one place where you have the two holes is the bottom or the seat, and the one which has one hole is the backrest. Okay, so now next we are going to connect everything. E. E. I'm going to connect the E here via the screw P. P as in parent. So what that means is this thing is going from inside here. This P screw goes from inside here as well as here. And I'm going to connect it to that. Okay, so after connecting the screws P, I'm now going to just connect the nuts here. Okay, and now I'm going to connect the nut here. So essentially I have connected E on the left hand side if you are facing the facing this slide, right? And notice this here, this knob here will essentially go inside this hole here. So essentially you know everything is matching. Right. Okay, now this is F. F as in Ford. Once again I am going to put the screws P, P as in parrot, from inside here, and then other screw P as in parrot from inside here. I might have to align it a little bit, but once I have aligned it, I am going to put the two nuts to make sure this does not leave. Okay, and same here. Once again I want you to notice something. This F rod goes inside this hole. That way you know that this is connected properly. Okay, now this is O. O as in orange. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place it here like this and this. Okay, and next we are going to put the swing. Okay, so now I have this thing here. Now it's a little bit difficult. You need to be a little bit more careful here. You want to essentially attach these two things. So essentially you want to put some kind of a support here. Like I see I have put this chair here, right? And then you want to use this to lift it and put this thing here inside. Now I acknowledge that this is not easy. This part is a little bit difficult because you need a lot of support and stuff like that. Okay, so this is L. L as in lion. Okay, and what you essentially want to do is this. You want to take this here, G, and then you want this W1. And what we are going to do is, we are going to connect it here like this. Notice how this sortie fit inside this sortie, like this. Okay, however there is one tricky part, which is you want to make sure that the L tarp is over here before you send it. So what that means is, this will be covered, so I wanted to show you this to you first. It's a bit windy today, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to show you, but hopefully. So notice this hole here, right? So this hole is going to match. So what that means is, I am going to put this from inside this hole here, right? I am going to put this G here, and then I am going to connected. So essentially, this W1 screw goes inside the tarp first, then inside this rod, and then it essentially goes here. So now I'm just going to turn it around and start to screw it. Don't screw it in completely, don't tighten it. You don't need to tighten it for now, right? And now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this from the top here like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again the same process. Take this W1 here, take this G here, put it here, cover it with the tarp, and then put the screw through the tarp to G and into this thing. So I'm going to, if you come here, so notice I am putting the screw W1 inside this thing, right? Then this thing is going to go over here on this tarp. I might need to pull it a little bit. Here, and then it will go over this tarp here. So essentially, yeah, something like this. I am going to need one more person's support to do this, but I'm going to show you after this is done. Okay. Next, this kind of things, right? We are going to put them in all the screws which are visible to cover them. Right? So all the screws that are pending, if you want, you can also tighten everything that you can see now at this point. So everywhere you are going to go and connect them. Simple. Okay, so the next step is, even though this is connected, if there is too much wind, it blows away. So you want to make sure that it stays. So what you need to do is you need to come inside and look here. And if you look here inside, right, what you will notice is there is this kind of a velcro. So you want to essentially open up this velcro. Right, there are 4 of them, 2 on each side. Notice what I am doing? I am essentially opening up the velcro, right? And then I am going to fix this here, and then I am going to use the velcro and wrap it around. Now what essentially this did is, it makes sure that this thing does not blow away in the wind. So essentially, notice this, you might need to pull it a bit. Yeah, pull it, lead down, and then velcro it. And I am going to do the same thing on all the other 4 sides. Okay, now if it rains, this is outdoor, right? So what you need to do is, you can see how water just falls off. So it's not a big deal. And then what you can do is clean up everything here like this. And then you can just clean up all the water. Okay, next I am going to show you how to convert it into a sleeping room. So you want to essentially remove this thing here, and then remove it on the other side as well. You have to pull it, and now notice how this thing just goes like this. And now what you can do is, this will rest on top of this. So what you want to do is, you want to just, if you come this back, if you look here, there is this plastic holder. You want to make sure that this plastic holder gets stuck here like this. And it's the same on the other side as well. There is also a plastic holder, and this essentially makes it move, right? Now you have some place to sit down comfortably, and it won't move, and it becomes like a sleeping. So you can essentially sleep here comfortable. And this is all the mode. And when you are done, just lift it and then pull this thing out. First we'll do it on this side. Okay. And then on this side. And now this thing is ready once again for swing, right? So both the modes are essentially set up and ready. Yep, this is all the features. So make sure you put the velcro so that it doesn't, fall off, and then this is good to go. Swing set it ready, and it's like nice and comfortable with all the cushions and everything. You just need to place the cushions. Cushions are removable. You can also turn it into a completely sleeping chair, which I'm going to show you next. But yeah, it's pretty comfortable.